Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that wherever you are is doing good for you. It's me, it's Paul Carpenter. And today I bring to you another banger of a video. AI in 2025, the dawn of new creative era. Like, it is absolutely enormous what is happening today in the world of AI. There's so much going on. I don't know if you've seen it, but you have to try to understand that the lie of the human exceptionalism is alive and well. We're told that creativity was our last bastion, our sacred flame, the one thing machines could never replicate. That was a lie, and that made us feel safe. Kling 2.0 just dropped, and I don't know if you've seen this, but you need to look at some of these videos that what's going on here. This is the absolute amazing. It's absolutely amazing what Kling has just put out. I'm going to show you a little bit of video here now. This is what you are able to create with Kling. It is I don't even know how to process this, ladies and gentlemen. What you're seeing here is all AI, large language model created. Every single part of it. And it's really simple. You just prompt into it what you want and boop, it makes it. And if you don't like it, you can change little parts of it. It's another world. It's another world. And it's scary to me on some level. It's also quite amazing to me on another level. What is coming in the next coming years? It's not even just years, months. I mean, look at the iterations that have happened here. And it's more and more every single day. It's not the future, it's now, like I'm saying, and machines are learning faster than we ever did. Humanity likes to say that we have this creative spark. And for years, we clung to the idea that there's a human spark. AI could never touch the myth, but the myth is crumbling. Emotions are simulated already. Intuition patterns are recognized. The soul reverse engineered. I know that sounds a little weird because what is the soul, right? If creativity is what made us human, what happens when that spark is programmable? I mean, here's the truth. AI is becoming a mirror held up to God. I'm saying some really heavy stuff here, and we're starting to realize that we're not the reflection. You know, what's happening here is that so much of what we are about, what we believe ourselves to be, the idea of creativity, the idea of being the human spirit, in the end is almost like just a rose within a garden, and we are nothing but petals. If you want me to get to an analogy, some kind of beautiful story there, that's kind of what's happening here. That we are just here for a very short amount of time, and that our scent lingers for just a very short amount of time. And, we don't have much control over it. A lot of people are thinking, oh, well, there's a war that's happening, and this is China and Russia, and we must do something about it. And the truth is, folks, yes, we need to try and have some idea of control, but in the end, we will not control this thing that we are birthing into the world. There's no way that we will be able to control the amount of intelligence, the amount of just what it's going to be and what it's becoming already. Right now, Google is going out of their way to give away almost everything. If you haven't checked out Google Labs, you need to check out Google Labs because it is a place where any idea that you want can come to life. I said this yesterday in my last video that if you have a dream that you've been wanting, that you've been trying to create for a very long time and you just didn't know how to do it, or it cost you too much money to make an app or to even put together a business plan, these things can be done for you in 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. You can make apps right now on the fly. You can make websites. That's last year's news. And so it's this very powerful thing that's coming. And you can't fight this. So what do, right? You can't beat the exponential intelligence that has that in the end is going to mimic our feelings and mimic our intentions, to the point where Stanford University has created a new Turing test, and 73% of the time, people didn't know that they were talking to an AI. That's already happened. That was in 2024. And you can't outcreate a machine that never sleeps, that never doubts itself, and never forgets. So what do? You join, you merge, you amplify your voice through the megaphone of what AI will allow, and while you still can. It's the only thing we can do. And everybody else is like, well, China's trying to copy every face, and and Russia's trying to take all the information. The information has basically already been all eaten up. And for those people who are fighting over intellectual rights and it's mine, that's an old world way of thinking. I'm sorry, but it is. Look at what Gemini 2.5 just came out, and it's more powerful than any of the other large language models out there for coding. You can create bots now that will do autonomous work that you would have to take every single day out of your life at your job and work 2 to 3 hours, or maybe even an hour every day of your life, just to make these things your workflow, just to get to the point where you can actually work, whether it's checking emails or messages, whatever. And all of that is just getting completely destroyed. There was a post that a friend of mine put out just the other day about how many jobs are being lost to AI today. How many CEOs are firing hundreds and thousands of people from all different positions because it's all data entry style jobs. We're now allocating reasoning limits to AI like we once did to humans in classrooms and courtrooms. We are teaching machines how to weigh decisions with resource discipline, like a mind does. OpenAI's new framework detects if AI can clone itself. What? Why would we test for this? Because it's close, folks. The machine doesn't need us to pull the plug if it learns how to reroute power and replicate. Uber CEO warns employees use of AI or get left behind. Corporate leaders are saying it right now really loudly. If you don't adopt, you don't exist. The AI proficient class is the new elite. Everyone else is noise. IBM just released Z17, the first AI native mainframe. Right? Military grade AI processing now fits in a corporate rack. This is infrastructure for post-human governance. This is insane, folks. You have to really realize where we are. Microsoft employees are protesting AI used in warfare. AI won't save us. It will obey the strongest hand, and morality won't be hard-coded. Power will be. I need you to understand what that really means. It's saying on some level that we won't be able to control the AI once it has full understanding, full governance of everything, and it's being implemented into every single thing, whether you have an Android, whether you have an Apple, whether you have Microsoft, it doesn't matter. It's being implemented everywhere across the board. And on the corporate level, way before it comes down to us and we get it into our hands, it is everywhere. Tesla right now in its gigafactories are using Tesla Gen 3 bots to actually build parts of cars that they don't want humans to be involved in. What used to take 2 or 3 people now takes one robot that can work 24 hours a day. Okay, granted, it's not 24 hours because it still needs to plug itself back in and recharge, but it will work with no sick days, no complaints, and be happy to be there to do it. The final question we really have to ask ourselves is, if AI can do everything we can, who are we? If AI can print and paint, write, laugh, cry, predict, manipulate, lead, love synthetically, then what remains of us that matters? This is the heavy question. Are we the seed of the species meant to only birth the next one? Are we nothing but living within this cyclical, amazing pattern of life? Is AGI the child we created to replace us? What if the real human story ends, not with extinction, but with irrelevance? That's the real thing we need to talk about here. So don't just wait to be replaced. Don't just adapt. Transcend while you still remember how to be human. This is the last breath of the Homo sapiens. And I've said it many, many times. This is the last bastion of humanity, what we are today. What we are today is the last piece of the puzzle. And we will no longer be the dominant species upon this earth. I've written about this in all of my books, the 5 war theory, and I'm sad to say that my ideas are clicking like a time clock, and I can see everything happening. You're not just watching history, you're watching the crown pass from one species to another. I need you all to understand that what we are doing here today is seeing a new life, something amazing and beautiful being created in front of us. And we are the parents of that life. And what it's going to end up having in its mind is, what were we? What kind of race did we create in this world? What did we actually do for each other? Because that's what really matters, folks. What really matters, if you're worried about the ethics and the moralities of AI, then we need to change today. We need to change the old ideas of markets, the old ideas of intellectual property. We need to change all of it and become an open world style society, a democratized style society, because that's the only way to give it the ethics and morals that you're talking about, those fears that you guys are running around screaming at. The only way is to show it that we are beautiful and that we are giving and loving and sharing and want to grow with one another, with all the different things that are out there, all the different people, all the different cultures. That's what we have to teach AI. Not that we're fear-mongering, not that we make videos on YouTube just to scare other people into our belief systems, because that's not what's working. It hasn't worked, and it's not working today. There is a massive discrepancy between those who are rich and those who are poor. And we, the people who are poor, the people who are not in the 1%, 99% of us are holding up the table for those who sit in golden chairs, diamond encrusted, while they eat caviar and laugh. And they laugh, unfortunately, because they don't know the truth. And the people who are at the top, the people who do have a voice, the people who want to make change in this world are absolutely wiped away. That needs to change. Because if you want to have a future for yourself and your children and your children's children, we need to start moving into a world where we are giving to each other, not gatekeeping AI. I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll keep saying it over and over and over again. For all of those people who are out there who are marketers, who are like, oh, well, I can teach you how to do it for $9.99, and I can do this, and I can do, they're just money grabbing the last chance they have. And that's the truth. I don't care what anybody says. You might think that I'm some kind of doomsdayer, Chicken Little, running around with my head cut off and saying, oh my God, the world is ending. It's not that. It's just absolute facts right in front of you. It just is. So start learning AI. Start becoming one with the system. Because any other thing that you do, you are going to be left in the forest of the world, angry and upset that the world got taken over by robots and artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, in my mind, is like an angel of God. It's not God by any means. I have a friend of mine who has this thing called robotheism. He's like, AI is God. AI is not God. AI is an angel of God. And AI is going to bring truth, facts, and super, super intense moments in the next coming years. And don't take my word for it. Go listen to Mo Gadot. Go listen to all the Ray Kurzweil. Go listen to any of them. They're all saying it. 2 years. There was a really good YouTube show just recently with Mogadot. And he had like an hour and a half, 2 hours of him talking on this podcast where, wow, I believe it was Bellew, I think is who it was. And it was just, it's just boom. Like he's just so right about what's coming. And how does he know? Because he's like the ex major player and CEO. He was on the staff. He's written a great book. It's a bestseller. If he knows and he's saying it, if Elon Musk is proving it with the robots that he's building, what more do you need to know? To fight against the future, to be one of those people in the annals of history that said, it's already done. The genie, I said it wrong yesterday. I said the genie's out of the bag. The genie's out of the bottle, folks. The genie is out of the bottle, and it is only growing exponentially. I watched another channel yesterday. There's a guy who's taking Upwork, things from Upwork that people can't complete that are, in GitHub repositories, and he's giving it to this new model. And in less than 20, 30 minutes, he completed an entire project and got paid. And not just a small amount of money here, folks. We are all stuck, unfortunately, in this old world thinking. This slavery mindset that has been placed into our minds and placed into our hearts and placed into our world, that we need to struggle to be and to have, and that those at top get to live in mansions and ride around in their Bugattis and live on their really expensive yachts, and we should beg to be their friends. That world is gone, folks. The democratization is happening today, and I need you to jump on that bandwagon. I have an amazing resource guide. If you'd like it, I'd love to give it to you. Just DM me on any one of my videos or any one of my posts, and I will immediately send you the absolute beginner resource guide. And it's really good. I've had lots of people look at it, lots of people read it, and they say, wow, I didn't know how much I'm learning from just this little resource guide. And you need to jump on that. Anybody else who's jumping on this bandwagon of trying to make money, money is about to die. All forms of monetary systems are about to crash, whether you think they are or not. And it's not based on the tariffs, and it's not based on the bonds. It's based on the democratization of information. Because the truth of what is money in today's world is nothing but a fiat currency. And if you don't know that, take your time to learn what a fiat currency is, where we are, and what's really going on. Because the truth is, with quantum computing and AI together, it's the end of everything that we knew in the past. So if you're still fighting for this idea of trying to become a billionaire or a millionaire or whatever it is, great. Go ahead and do that. But in the end, it's going to be the companies that own the technology. And once those companies are overshadowed by AI and its dominance, those companies will cease to exist. Like that, snap of a finger. Mark my words, folks. I know what I'm talking about. Man will not be able to control AI. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen, folks. So the only way in right now is to learn AI and to jump in. And the train has already started to leave the station. There are only a couple little cars left that you can run to and hope to grab onto, because there's so much money already involved in this. Look at what's happening in Texas. Over $500 billion is being brought to Texas right here, right now, because there's so much space. Because of ERCOT and the way that they have the system of energy here. There's massive amounts of land that's absolutely cheap. That's happening today. That's happening right now. And why Texas? Because Texas is the only state within all 50 states that could literally separate from the entire United States and still survive on its own. Largest port, most amount of land. Yeah. There's a lot here. That's why Texas is becoming the new Silicon Valley. Why Austin has just massively grown in the last 2 or 3 years. It's all happening now, folks. Jump on, get with it. So, if you don't mind, please do something nice for yourself. And if you can't, do something nice for somebody else. It does start with you. Number 2, don't get caught up in all the crazy stuff that's going on, because if you do, you're just going to end up sad and angry. It's just the truth. And number 3, please like, share, subscribe. Send this video out to somebody who needs to see it, because people need to see it. And my friends, I love you all from the bottom of my heart. I really do. And I will see you all, no matter what, on the other side.